Thank you all for joining today. Thank you for joining the bootcamp again. So starting today, we'll be doing the Ad Studio session. So over to you, Kunal.
Sure. Thank you.
We can see your screen. Perfect.
Perfect. Sure. So I think thank you everyone. I mean for joining in. I think what we'll do is we'll uh, cover in terms of advertising studio, a part of marketing cloud. So in terms of what capabilities come in with respect to advertising studio and in terms of what are the overall use cases that we can see with respect to ad studio. In terms of, first of all, again, thank you everyone for joining in and thank you for taking out time on a Sunday and in terms of, going through the session. In terms of what we will cover, so ideally we'll cover with respect to what is Ad Studio, what are the capabilities in terms of that Ad Studios can do, in terms of what are the roles and permissions required for executing or running Ad Studio, and in terms of accessing Ad Studio with respect to your roles on Marketing Cloud, how to go about implementing Ad Studio in terms of what are the connections that are required to be done in terms of overall with respect to uh, setting up of the channels, connecting the channels. Then we'll touch base on use cases in terms of where Ad Studio is used and what is it that we can do. And also with respect to, we'll see some backend functioning in terms of how Ad Studio works with respect to means whenever we use Ad Studio on various social channels or on various use cases, what is it that happens on the backend. Later, happy to take questions in terms of any questions that we have. So in terms of overall, what is Ad Studio? So Ad Studio basically helps us and to engage and advertise on the social channels. So basically, you can use Ad Studio to advertise your prospects, advertise your customers with respect to on the various social channels. Let that be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, so on and so forth. Uh, it helps you to basically, add or say outreach via your social channels in addition to the emails, SMS, WhatsApp that we have with respect to Marketing Cloud. Which are the channels that we can connect? So basically, we can connect Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Snapchat in terms of showing ads. Uh, I mean, there is one question that I think typically we get with respect to because on the admin side of the Ad Studio, you normally see a logo only for Facebook, and people have questions saying that how is Instagram then connected? So basically, Instagram is also managed by Meta, so it's a part of Facebook itself, where you can connect both your Facebook ad account and your Instagram ad account to Marketing Cloud and basically run ads via basically in terms of Marketing Cloud that is there. In terms of connections, so there is a pre-built API or there is a pre-built connector which is already implemented or natively available via the in Marketing Cloud. So basically, there is no development that needs to be done, or there is no custom code that you need to write. The only thing that you need to do is basically for each of the channels, just have the admin credentials of the ad manager and basically use the ad manager's basic admin credentials to connect to this respective social channels, and your connections are in place and you can use it with respect to running your ads that are there. Coming to in terms of roles and permissions, so these are certain roles and permissions of Marketing Cloud which you require to have access to Ad Studio. So one is with respect to where you need to be an administrator in terms of uh, Marketing Cloud administrator and the administrator role in terms of running Ad Studio, as well as means in terms of a channel manager, basically who can typically use Ad Studio with respect to using the various aspects of audiences, creating lookalikes, so on and so forth. So basically, these are the two roles which have access to AdStudio. As we know, administrator will have complete access to AdStudio, where all the functionalities can be done by an administrator. Whereas with respect to a channel manager, he is the one who basically will be working on AdStudio in terms of creating audiences, lookalikes, as well as scheduling ads or say checking out reports, all of those things which are typically managed by a channel manager. So these are the two roles which can basically help you in terms of onboard and use AdStudio in Marketing Cloud. And how to go about setting up these two roles is basically when you're setting up a user in the roles, you need to align these two roles for the person who is going to manage your overall AdStudio or ad accounts that is there. In terms of capabilities, now coming to capabilities, so these are certain capabilities which AdStudio brings in, where one is you can create your ad audiences. So on all of these social channels, let that be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and where then you can, so based on your CRM data or based on your data set that you have on Marketing Cloud, you can create these ad audiences, push them to the respective social channels based on your segmentation rules, based on your audience creation rules, and then basically you can show them ads on the respective social channels. You can also basically run ads, means as a part of Journey Builder. So in terms of where, as a part of Journey Builder, what you can do is you can show ads in terms of as a part of Journey, as a part of your omni-channel communication plan. So let that be in terms of, when you're running a journey which has email, SMS, WhatsApp as a channel, you can also have in terms of ad as one of the channels, and then show ads to users with respect to, on the platform and on the capability side. And also you can do a lead capture. So basically you can capture leads via Facebook ads, where you can have a lead capture form and basically then capture leads, via the platform, and then basically target those leads to become prospects and customers with respect to making a transaction. So these are some of the capabilities with respect to AdStudio. Now, what is an ad audience? So basically, this is where uh, this or ad audience in a nutshell is basically people whom you want to show the ad or whom you want to target with the ad on any of these social channels that is there. So where you can reach out to these customers or prospects on any of these social channels, whether that be Facebook, Google, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, so on and so forth. These are based on the segmentation rules that you apply or based on segments that you create offline as well, and which you can upload on Marketing Cloud and then run ads on them. So basically, these are people to whom you want to show your ads, show your social ads on the respective channels, target them with respect to the brand information, uh, where on any of these digital social channels where you want to show them ads, and then let them say maybe interact with the website or redirect them to the website and do a transaction. Now, in terms of common use cases, so these are some of the common use cases that are there where AdStudio is used. So say the first is with respect to you acquire audiences using lookalike audiences. Now, what is lookalike audience? Say you have a certain segment where you have a certain demographic information. In case of say, as a brand, you have details with respect to say this user group that is there. Say for example, a user group which is say consider an edtech example wherein it's an edtech brand, and basically we are the user groups of the edtech brand, where say people having interest in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, people with say maybe 2x, 3x, 4x certification in Marketing Cloud, people residing in the various geographies across the globe in terms of Marketing Cloud and following Marketing Cloud. Now, this is the demographic details that that particular edtech brand has based on this user group. what it can do is defining this criteria, it can find out audience of the similar demographics, similar categories that we define, and basically show them ads on the respective social channels, and then get them to, let's say, maybe redirect to the website or a landing page and provide their data and get them as leads or prospects. So that's one with respect to where AdStudio is used. Second is re-engage with inactive subscribers and customers. So again, say consider the example where I have taken a course from that edtech brand in the past, and I have say done a course with them maybe 1 year back, and say that course was worth some XYZ INR that is there. Now they are promoting a new course with respect to say maybe a Salesforce CDP course or a Salesforce Datorama course that is there, and they are trying to target me with respect to taking or enrolling that course via say email SMS, but I am non-responsive. So since I transacted in the past, or since I took the course with the brand in the past, they have that transactional data or that loyalty factor that is there, that okay, Kunal will engage or purchase a new course from us. They don't want to lose out on my data point that is there, or on me as a prospect or a customer that is there. So since I'm not responding on email and SMS, what they will do is, as a part of the journey, they will run an ad, and they will showcase an ad on any of the social channels that is there. So either a Google ad or a Facebook ad or a Instagram ad, where it is like a brand recollect for me in terms of my social channels, and where I can re-engage or re-engage back and transact back and purchase that course. So this is where re-engagement with respect to inactive subscribers or customers comes in, and where brands look to re-engage back with respect to their customers on various channels that are there. Then extend your emails program. So again, as it's like AdStudio is one of the channels. So where you are targeting users with say email, SMS. It's not only email program; it can be SMS, WhatsApp, anything that is there, where you are targeting via the 4 channels, and you want one more channel to reach out to a particular user. You can do that, and a brand can do that by reaching out on the social channel. Uh, then there is also with respect to having the loyalty quotient, or having the conversion related messaging in terms of real time messaging as some of the use cases. Also suppression customers. I mean, suppressing customers is where say now how is this a use case is because say when you're running a social ad, or when you're running a say common generic Facebook ad, it is where you don't want customers to be bombarded with respect to ads as well, where say if I have done a transaction recently with a brand, I don't want to be bombarded with a generic ad. So as using AdStudio, what you can do is you can put me in a segment where you are suppressing that ad from me, not showing me an ad, so that basically it's not means one, you're not bombarding that particular users means with respect to brand, and you're not overdoing with respect to the communication as well. So that's also like one of the use cases where you can suppress customers using AdStudio, and have that right communication designed, or right frequency of communication designed to reach out to the respective users that are there. Again, these are some of the use cases. I mean, there are various other use cases as well, specific to segments, specific to industries. But these are in general with respect to the use cases with respect to which you can do via AdStudio. Now, in terms of what happens at the backend, so basically this is like an overview of the backend functioning of what happens when we are running an ad, and when we are defining a use case with respect to the ad audience. So in the backend, basically what happens is, say if you see from the bottom left, so you define your data source. So basically let that be any data extension or any list via which you define your audience, and you set up your audience. Once the audience is defined using, say, either Journey Builder or using a list, basically the contacts or the prospects, or say the contact information is placed in the as an audience in the data extension or the list you define. Basically, then that is again hashed using SHA 256 algorithms with respect to once the information is passed from Salesforce to the social channels that is there in terms of your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And basically that audience data is sent to the respective social channels. Then once it is sent to the social channels, basically via the API connection that we have done, the ads or the audience that you've defined is available on the respective ad networks or the social channels. So your Facebook ad manager, your Instagram ad manager, Twitter ad manager, Google ad manager will have that audience available with respect to the particular list or a particular data extension that you define, particular audience that you define will be available on the ad manager's dashboard for you to target them with respect to the specific ads, specific you know uh, information that you want to pass on via the social channels that is there. Again, this is important where so basically via Marketing Cloud, you are only pushing uh, what the audience that is there or the segment that is there to be shown an ad. The ad in terms of content creative, in terms of say the video that you are showing in the ad, so on and so forth. Basically, all of that is defined on your respective ad managers or the respective social channels except Facebook. So Facebook is one channel where you can even define your content creative via Marketing Cloud, and you can run the ads via Marketing Cloud itself, where you can directly upload your content creative, define that entire ad, and then show run the ad via Marketing Cloud itself. But for all the other channels that is there in terms of Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google, etc., it's where you're just pushing the segment or the audience that is there, and basically the content creatives of the ad is maintained on the respective ad managers that is there. Now these are some of the data requirements that are there in terms of what data is required to show the ads or to say create those matching rules or the audience rules that are there. So say for example, in terms of Facebook requires, say the email, phone number, first name, last name, any additional data points that are there in terms of from Marketing Cloud, which then matches with respect to the Facebook data that is there and then shows an ad. Twitter is also again email address. You have a device ID or a Twitter handle, and which is normally matched to the Twitter user ID or the Twitter handle to show the ad. Google is only with respect to where you require email address on Marketing Cloud, and then basically it matches it with respect to your Google ID or overall the Google ID that is there that you are using for your Gmail, YouTube, uh, etc., so on and so forth to log into your overall Google property that is there. And with LinkedIn as well, it's email address, and which basically matches with respect to your LinkedIn email ID that you use for logging in and running ads on the LinkedIn feed that is there. So these are some of the data points that you require, and it's more of like a data set to create those matching rules on which basically these ads are run and ads are executed. Then we move to the Journey Builder advertising example that is there, where how AdStudio is used with Journey Builder. So basically, this functioning is where, as we saw, so say imagine a journey where you're running an entire journey or say retargeting journey that is there, where you are re-engaging with users. The example that we discussed of re-engagement. Now, in that journey flow, say imagine your first data connection point or the channel that you use is email, followed by say maybe an SMS, and then third maybe say again an email if I am not reacting to the email or SMS. The second time also you target me with email, But now post sending me two emails and SMS, it is where you still want to do that reach out to me. That's when you use AdStudio. So basically, there is something called as Ad Audience as a part of the journey canvas that is there, which you add. And basically, what will happen is, as a part of that journey, the third time I will be pushed to that ad audience, and then from the journey builder itself, you are pushing me into the ad audience of the social channels, and you can use any of the social channels to show an ad with respect to the specific journey that is there, and then help me or help the brand to retarget me and reconnect with me that is there. So say this is where, as a part of journey builder itself, you can directly create that ad audience and then show them ads via the respective social channels that is there. So in terms of journey, I mean, this is the overall flow that happens at the backend, where say you have an activated journey in the journey builder canvas, then you have a DE created with respect to, which is basically pushing your ad audience to the respective social channels. Once that is done, your ad audience gets created in terms of the social channels, and that ad audience gets reflected on the respective social channels through which you can run ads or run respective social ads to retarget or re-engage with respect to the lead or the customer that you are trying to retarget. Then this is something with respect to lead capture. So lead capture is, so one is showing ads in terms of the various social channels. Second is with respect to lead capture. Now this is something where you want to generate new leads as a part of a brand. And this is where you want to generate new data that is there. So you use social ads to create those lead capture forms and basically generate those leads that are there. So basically, Facebook lead ads are where you show ads to your leads who are not your customers, who are not your existing customers that are there, but you are generating new, trying to generate new customers that are there. So you use the Facebook lead ads, create the lead capture form. Basically, those leads once gets generated or created on Facebook, uh, basically they are directly pushed into Salesforce Marketing Cloud and on your Salesforce CRM as well. And then basically doing that, what you can do is those leads, you can run various communication as well. So it's like a data capture form that you create on the social channels. People fill in that form, or leads fill in that information in terms of providing their email ID, phone number, so on and so forth, and which gets collected on basically Marketing Cloud. And basically, you can push that to your CRM as well, and then run campaigns on them with respect to, say, targeting them via emails, SMS, WhatsApp, or maybe having an offline CRM connect as well, where the CRM agent connects with those particular leads in terms of seeing their interest, so on and so forth. So that's the use case with respect to where a lead capture form is used, and you use that lead capture form to generate leads and then target them with respect to the various different type of campaigns that you want to do. Again, common use cases with respect to leads and lead capture. So you generate leads for, say, a specific region or a specific city or a specific country. You basically personalize the content to those leads depending on their interest, depending on what they want to see or what information you have, so that you are targeting them with respect to that most accurate information that is there. Uh, have people, say, maybe register for events or, say, conferences, webinars, so on and so forth, where you can find them, reach out to them and then let them register for your events, get people to sign up. So say once you generate the leads, you can have your call center agents reach out to them for providing them information of, say maybe any webinar that you are running or any event that you are running. And then based on that, let them attend the webinar, let them attend the event, and then means, indirectly, then maybe they transact post the event and become a customer that is there. So it's where you can create that entire lead capture funnel, that process where you generate leads, capture those leads, communicate with those leads via different channels, and then basically get them to transact with you in terms of and become your customer in terms of with your brand. Again, the backend process that works is, so there is a Facebook ad which you'll create. The Facebook ad will have a lead capture form which a person or a user will fill out. Once the user fills out the form, basically that lead record gets created in Salesforce, where that prospect becomes a lead, because since he's provided that information or shown that first level interest in terms of providing the information that is there, then your sales team will nurture that lead with respect to, say, personalized communications, reaching out to them via your offline contact center, call center, so on and so forth, and basically nurture that lead to become, do that transaction or do that purchase or do that engagement that is there, so that that person becomes an opportunity, and once he does the transaction, becomes a customer with respect to when he goes ahead, makes the purchase, and makes provides that revenue to that brand that is there. So this is how that overall lead nurture process that can be done via the Facebook lead ads, along with your Salesforce CRM and along with your Marketing Cloud. Yeah, I think so. This was more about AdStudio in terms of different use cases, what happens at the backend. I think I'll open it for questions in terms of any questions users have. Happy to take those.
So I think I'll ask a couple of questions, Kunal, from audience perspective. So I think it's a great presentation. Thank you for sharing your knowledge on AdStudio, particularly
Sure.
on the process and particularly on the flow that how the ads will be published. My question is from an AdStudio. So what are all the connectors that we can leverage? And so from your experiences, what is the best channel that you target to get the lookalike audience?
So I think in terms of connectors, it's basically all the 5 social channels that it supports. So basically Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Google that you can use. I think majority, it's like people or say brands use Facebook for sure in terms of where Facebook becomes the primary channel, I would say, where everyone uses Facebook in terms of retargeting, re-engaging, running those ads. Specific segments where say maybe, I mean, again, it's then it becomes where based on specific segments people use, say maybe Pinterest or Snapchat or so on and so forth. But I think the majority is it's like Facebook, Instagram, and then Google to rank it in terms of 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So one more question, especially when we run the campaign for a channel, any channel that what you recommend, Instagram, Facebook, or a LinkedIn, where exactly we could see a lookalike audience, like how if you target for certain attributes like first name, last name, or or maybe their preferred country and the channel and the language. So where I can see all those lookalike audience back to our marketing clouds. Is it stored under data extension or how do we find out?
Right. So the lookalike audiences, basically you when you are connecting the channel. So once you connect the channel and once you define that lookalike audience, I mean, so on your respective social networks as well, the last step is where you define a data extension location. So I think there is a specific data extension location which you can create on Marketing Cloud, and that's where you will basically have all your lookalike audiences getting created, and then you can use that directly from Marketing Cloud to with respect to the various channel targeting that you want to do. So it's one of the folders which where as a last step you select, and you particularly define where you want to store them in terms of a D that is there.
All right, I think that's all I have. So audience, any questions you have to Kunal? And you can ask, and Kunal, one more question. So once we get a lookalike audience, right? So how do we measure the impact of the campaign performances. So do we ingest this lookalike audience data back to our Datorama as such? Do we have any such a kind of an option?
Not via Marketing Cloud, because in terms of, so the impact measurement is typically via your ad networks or ad managers, so of the social channels. So it's where then you connect all your Facebook ad manager, etc., so on and so forth, to your Datorama to see with respect to that overall impact, but not via Marketing Cloud per se. So that's something which is directly managed between like a Datorama and your respective ad managers.
Okay, so that's interesting. So my other question would be like, so once we get a lookalike audience, then we could retarget them to a different, different channels via Journey Builder. I know when we, create a campaign directly in Journey Builder, we define which page which you're targeting and what is your Facebook account, because currently Facebook is the only channel that's supporting Journey Builder, right?
Right.
And once we design the connector and adding a respective Facebook page and design the entire ad inside the Journey Builder, defining the cost and everything. So whatever Facebook you're doing currently, the same thing you're doing directly inside a Journey Builder, right? So what is
Right.
the best approach that you could recommend, whether we should target directly through Facebook, or we could sit in Marketing Cloud and then create an ad campaign and then target audience with the right ads? So what's your recommendation? So will you do it in Marketing Cloud, or can we go back and then do it in Facebook?
I think, so with respect to Facebook, I think it's still okay with respect to, so Facebook is the only channel which allows. But I mean, if you ask me with respect to like overall based on use cases, it's ideal where you do it via the ad managers itself. Uh, Reason being, I mean, not that it doesn't allow capability wise, it does allow, but it's just where managing the expectation from your people who are managing your ads or managing these social ads for you as a brand, instead of allowing them or say giving them two different platforms, creating that confusion or that onboarding process, it's better where they manage it via one platform itself, which they have been using. Because from the overall, I mean, I think the use case wise, it is mainly with respect to what audience you want to push, the content creative, etc. It's best managed via the respective ad managers. So although the capability is there, but still I would recommend, manage it via your ad managers that is there.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense, because it's completely depend upon your manager who's running the campaign inside Marketing Cloud or Facebook.
Marketing Cloud.
But yeah. So Kunal sir, I have just one question, because this is not my question. This is question that one of our audience has asked me to ask on behalf of his. So it is not related to AdStudio, but it is more related to Social Studio. So with your experiences, what is an alternative tool for Social Studio? Have you had any experience working with any other Social Studio platform that you could recommend for any customer?
So I think Social Studio now, I mean, since it's end of the journey that is there is something called as Social Sprout. I think that's the, second platform which is exactly like Social Studio. So it's like what Social Studio used to do with respect to, the ORM, seeing with respect to what people are talking about the brand, so on and so forth. I think Social Sprout is the one, and typically also recommended by Salesforce as well, because from a capability point of view, it is like a one-to-one match that is there of what Social Studio used to do. And I have implemented that for like one or two customers, and it was a seamless experience for them. Post the end of Social Studio. So I think Social Sprout. There are various others, but I think this is one which is like exactly close to what Social Studio used to do. From a user interface wise, also it's like there definitely there is a change, but it's not much of a change that is there. It's more of a like a 90-20 change that is there, a very small change for your teams as well compared to other platforms and other players that are there.
Okay, thank you, sir. So there's one question: where does the Social Sprout supports of connecting your does this Social Sprout as a connectors to connect your Service Cloud? Because that's where the key part, right? To give the better customer experience from everywhere, every touch point of a social, from from LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all. If anyone can ping the message and as with the negative audience or sentiment scores, so we're gonna create a case in Salesforce, and then we'll alert our manager to get it rectified somewhere with the different channels. So is it the same kind of a concept in Sprout Social as well?
It does. It does. Its only thing is where so since means the Salesforce Social Studio that was there, it was a direct connection that is there. In this case, it is where it's like there are 2-3 additional steps which you need to do to connect your Service Cloud and provide that experience. So it's like as an implementer or as a developer, it will be where you'll have like 2-3 steps more to do. But otherwise, in terms of a feature set, it allows you to connect to your Service Cloud and provide that same experience at the user level that is there.
All right. Okay. So then I think that sounds interesting. So when it comes to the migrations, like because the customers comes in asking us, so we already have a social studio, so we'd love to migrate the entire flows and what they've designed. So is there any tool that or Sprout Social provide a seamless migration kind of a stuff from Social Studio to Sprout Social? Or we need to do manually from scratch onwards too, because they have plenty of data, engagement data sitting in Social Studio, right? So can we migrate all these things to Sprout Social? Is there any possibility, or we should start from scratch onwards?
No, so I think so as of now, I think there is no connector. I think this also I will also have to double check, but there's no connector in terms of migrating. But I think there is a CSV option that is there where you download all your data that is there in terms of from your current existing Social Studio, and then have it like uploaded on a CSV on Sprout Social, and then set it up. So it's where you don't need to move in each data point. It's just a download and an upload, and then do that. It's like more of like a jigsaw puzzle fixing where then that data set once on Sprout Social, you need to put it at the right place or connect it to the right place. But as of now, I think no, there's no automated connector for migration. I mean, it's that manual migration is something that you need to do in terms of your existing data set that is there.
Got it, sir. All right. I think, I mean, it's out of the topic, but thank you so much for clarifying all the questions. I really, see the passion towards the session, and really thank you for joining with us today. Yeah, unless, I mean, if we have any other questions from audience perspective. Any questions, team, audience, or anyone? I'm expecting for sure next session there are a couple of plenty of people is going to attend for sure, because this Sunday I'm not sure why the email has been, because there are plenty of people who have been registered, sir, and I'm hoping a lot of people to come, but unfortunately no. But I'm pretty sure the next session the people will come into the picture. I'll go on a talk Trailblazer team, because when Trailblazer have been their team is sending reminders, which you can set it up obviously, but it's not sending out somehow. I don't know what's the problem. So that's one of the mistake. All right, sir. Thank you for joining once again. Great session, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.